Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jack Morrison. So I got a comment from a commenter that goes by Chris. So they wanted me to talk about programs that I've done in my personal experience, as well as I'm just going to show you two programs that I think worked really well for me. Now, I'm just going to say I followed three different people's programs, two of them when I was just starting out and doing sports, and then one of them because I wanted to learn about powerlifting and then make my own powerlifting program. So one of these programs is going to be birthed off of that powerlifting program, which I made my own, and it's more of a power building program. So I have tried to record this video and keep it short. I'm going to try to condense it even more, so if you have any questions or something doesn't make sense, please leave it in the comments and I'll try to address it. But I want to make this palatable for you, so I'm going to put up all of the exercises and sets and reps I have written down. Now, this first program was during my bodybuilding phase, my aesthetics phase, but I was still an athlete. You know, I still wanted to focus on being athletic, and I carried over from high school a lot of the rep schemes that my coach showed me. And so that is reflected in the numbers, but this is not necessarily what I did on a regular basis as far as the sets and reps. However, the exercises are fairly well similar to what I actually did. Now, the reason that I can't say it's what I actually did for certain, you know, with 100%, is because, for one, I never wrote down my programs till I was probably 20 or 21. And then two, I changed things up depending on my goals and how I felt at the time. So sometimes I would be focused on squats, and then I would put squats on Monday. And that's mostly if I was like really into basketball at the time, and I would do different squat variations with the barbell so that I could jump higher, right? So I wanted to dunk or whatever. Or if I was obsessed with my deadlift, which I was for a while, I would put deadlift or pull being my first day. Push was always my second day of the week, and I believe that would make it also my fifth day of the week, because I want to give rest between my squat and deadlift. Now, I didn't always deadlift twice a week, but in this example, I do. Now, you'll see a 12-10-8-6-4 rep scheme. That is just something I carried over from high school. That's not always what I did. Sometimes, like with my deadlift and squat, I would do, like, for deadlift 1 to 3 reps at 85 to 90% of my max, and squats maybe 3 to 5 reps for a heavy day. Now, for my other days, you know, I'd go lighter on the squats or deadlifts and stay about 6 to 8 reps probably, or maybe even higher for the squat. I liked higher rep squats because less chance of injury. Deadlift I didn't worry about too much because my form was pretty good with the deadlift at this time. So, you know, all these things, my strong suits and weaknesses are reflected here. I have a fairly tight bench grip, so I do a lot of tricep work. I have different ways I like to train my biceps that are just preference. I have a heavy bicep day and a light one. One uses more variations than the other. Things of that nature. So you'll see all that reflected in here, and I'll put up a picture of my physique as well as the workouts at the time. So that was more so my athletic workouts. I would do either 3 ab exercises, which were hanging leg raises, decline sit-ups, or and Russian twists, all weighted heavily to build my abs. And then I would do a 7-minute circuit some days to also do like endurance for my abs. Now, I also did a lot of cardio. If I was doing a very intense week, I might only do cardio twice a week on leg days or on back days, but most of the time I would do some sort of cardio every day, mostly involving sprinting. So, the next program that I'm going to be getting into is this power building one. Now, this power building program, I have a lower body day, or like a squat day, then I have a bench day, a deadlift day, and then I have lower body day, and I have upper body day. So it's a 5-day split. It goes off of RPM percentage. What you really need to know about this program is the fact that it's more power building. So my actual power lifts were quite heavy, and those were my main focus. Those would take 30 to 45 minutes, and the rest of my workout would be like 15 to 20-ish minutes. So I would get a lot more exercises done in the same amount of time as my compound. On top of that, my percentages that I worked off of were, I'd take my absolute max, I would subtract 10%, and it would usually be roughly around 10%, and I'd plug it into the percentage scheme. And then RPE, I would do it naturally based upon my perception, but then I would also plug it into a calculator to see if my RPE was fairly accurate. So most of the exercises here you'll see will just complement my compound lift for that day. I have lots of back work in here, trying to split up the back work and the bicep work. That way I can actually give it the proper attention it needs while still having days where I can focus on all those bigger movements. So I will put up some of my physique on this one as well. And so the percentage and the RPE and the rep scheme of the compounds changed every week in this program. The accessories, they really didn't change too much in this program. So that is a very quick overview of 2 programs that I think worked. I made them both. That first one isn't very representative of my skills in making programs because at the time it wasn't very scientific. I was just really, those were the exercises I liked. And then I would adjust the sets and reps based upon what I wanted to focus on at the time. So, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Put them down in the comments. Or if you have a comment about any of the programs, you can go ahead and say that too. The powerlifting program or power building, I have had a lot of success with that, and I've used it as a basis for a decent amount of my strength clients. I changed the accessories a ton based upon people, and then depending on how long their block can be and how long and like how advanced they are, the percentages, reps, and sets will change of the compounds. But I mean, it's a pretty easy entry level strength program as far as the compounds. Now, the accessories can sometimes add a little bit of conditioning factor into it. But anyways, that's just a little bit about that. If you have any more questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.